Welcome to Good Morning Football, represented by Intuit QuickBooks Live in New York City, Monday, December 9th. So much good football, epic games, showdowns, high-scoring affairs, defensive bouts, all right here with Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt. Nate Burleson with a new hairstyle.
Hey, trimmed it down a little bit.
Looks good.
You're ready for the playoffs, Kyle?
Playoff push.
Playoff push.
My name's Kay, and there are some awesome highlights from last night. Kyle?
Los Angeles, let's go to the west coast of the United States, where we have the Seahawks and the Rams. We got fire, guys. We got a torch. You might remember the 1984 Olympics shout out to Mary Lou Retton. The torch still burning. And the Rams fans still burning. But look at the Seahawks. So Pete Carroll's back in the house. Robert Woods, you know how many touchdowns he has on the year? 1 now. That's his first touchdown. Gets that butt slap from Sean McVay, and God bless him, 14-3 now. Goff just dealing. That's Cooper Kupp. Peter, remember when you first told us about him coming out of Eastern Washington?
Third-round pick. He's made good.
Third quarter, so Goff is cruising. Are the Rams going to drop a blowout? It's 21-3. Goff just can't miss. Hold on a second. Not so fast, my friend. Quandre Diggs running all the way from Detroit, I believe, from the 110 freeway.
He's like the Minka Fitzpatrick of this defense.
It really is. It's all coming up Minka, unless when it comes up Quandre. I guess the Lions had a quandary with him, and they answered, no, let's get him out of here. And they had
no diggity, no doubt.
That's absolutely right. So cold in the D, though, Nate. On this sack, Al Michaels said, sooner or later, 99's going to get you. And he did. He got Russ. They got Russ 5 times last evening in a game that was just really one-sided. Now watch Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley says, 3, 2, 1, sit down. Sit down. That was Trey Flowers. Anybody ever offer you flowers? You just slam them on the ground like that's what it is. Get those dandelions up out of my face. Adams, autobiographical? Todd Gurley did not like it. Look at Russ and McVay, and you're going to get Pete Carroll. Okay, good. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll see you in the playoffs. And the Seahawks lose. Guys, this was not close. It was never close. 28-12. Rams looking real sharp. Let's hear from the QB1, Jared Goff, and what I believe is a hooded sweater. He also censors himself in this clip, talking about things were going real bad for the Rams, and now they found a way to bounce back. Go ahead, Jared.
It's a sign of a good team. You know, when bad things happen and you're able to respond that way, I think it's inevitable that you're going to face some adversity. And by the way that we've shown we've responded to that, I mean, that's as bad as you can really get beat on Monday Night Football and at home. I mean, it's as bad as it gets, and we've come back from that and shown that we do have some fight to us and some I'm not going to say the bad word, some stuff in our neck.
Ooh, outside of a few hiccups, Goff finally looked like the guy we saw for most of last season. And looking at the playoff picture, the Rams are a game back of the Vikings for the final wildcard spot. 3 left to go. The Seahawks fall out of the NFC West lead, down to the 5 seed with their loss. The Niners win over the Saints also affected this playoff picture yesterday. So Goff looks good. His team looks dominant. Where has his team been all year, and what does it mean?
It was like the Rams got their groove back. It started last week against the Cardinals, but last night was a national showcase, just 14 days removed from that Monday night disaster against the Ravens. And if you watch this game, it wasn't just the players. It looks like Sean McVay, the kid genius, was back too. The calling of the plays was all about jet sweeps to the wide receivers. This is Josh Reynolds. This here is obviously going to be Reynolds on this side. Then it was Robert Woods another time coming out of the backfield. This was the stuff we saw last year from the LA Rams. These big 8, 9, 10-yard chunk plays on offense coming from the wide receivers out of the running game. Even in a big third down play, like it was crucial third down time, they went and they threw a pass to Cooper Kupp, who then threw a pass to Higbee. It was incomplete, but it was a double pass in a big spot, and it felt like, all right, if we're going to go down, let's go down swinging. Let's go down our way. I love what I saw from the Rams. And, Kay, you looked at that playoff picture. If you do all the math, and I'm sure there's some quirky things that we could find out that this doesn't happen. If they win out and the Vikings lose a game, I believe the Rams would have the better conference record than the Vikings. The Rams would be the last wild card, not the Vikings. So if you're a Rams fan this morning, you got to beat the 49ers on that Saturday game. You got to win out, but you also need the Vikings to lose one of these. You might be the biggest Packers fans in the world right now.
What's changed?
All right, guys. I said this a couple weeks ago. Just hear me out.
Okay.
What if the Rams were playing possum all year? You guys laughed at me, and of course, I'm joking, but a lot of truth is said in jest.
You're not joking.
I feel like Todd Gurley has been sitting on ice for most of the season. Now, what are the reasons? Maybe they want to go running back by committee like a lot of good offenses, or maybe his knee was really that banged up in the offseason. What I do know, He gets in the end zone. He has over 100 yards total. And all of a sudden, this offense has a flow. You see guys making plays that we didn't see before. You just mentioned the host of wide receivers, the jet sweeps, handoffs. They lead the league in wide receiver handoffs. Cooper Kupp, who was banged up, now back on the field. He gets in the end zone. Todd Gurley running strong. Kyle Branch did the highlight. And is Todd Gurley going to be an angry run for the first time all season? Yes. Here it is right here. So I feel like they're catching the rhythm at the right time, whether it was them getting punched in the mouth and tasting their own blood or saying, we're going to save our horses for the back end of the race.
He's opening things up for that entire offense. Todd Gurley now has at least 20 carries in 3 of the last 4 games.
It's volume. And this is more than the Seahawks. If I am the Saints, if I'm the Packers, if I'm the Cowboys, like, oh no, like I don't want the Rams back. Peter's right. It was very 2018. Like this was the Rams before a world where it was all, Baby Yodas and White Claws and all that. Like that 2018 Rams looked really good because I think there's like 3 teams in the league where like when they're clicking, like they are clicking. It's them and it's the Niners and maybe a couple others. I just want to say, like, if you didn't see this game, maybe you went to sleep early, like Russ never made a run. There was never that, like, all right, I'm Russ Wilson, no problem, I got this. Seahawks games are always weird. It wasn't weird. They got clobbered. There was never the comeback. And the question leaving Seattle this game is, we've talked a lot about how they've been in a ton of close games. They seem to always win them. Are they a little fake good? I mean, a little bit. Are we starting to answer now? Did they peak early? Seattle, it is on you to answer these questions now because you just got walloped and you did not look like a top 5 team.
And hopefully you could answer them before you have to do your fight with 5 tomorrow.
Okay, jump into my head. I've had him at number 2, and I don't think they possibly could be, especially after we saw from the Niners yesterday.
Who's number 1 in the AFC?
Yeah, I don't know. The AFC's wide open, too. Do some Chiefs-Patriots. Why not?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Chiefs-Patriots highlights. Let's go to Foxborough. Let's get right into it. Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs would clinch the AFC West if they won and the Raiders lost. But this is the guy right here, Tom Brady. 21 straight home wins, including the playoffs, but 0-2 versus quarterbacks under 25 this season. Right away, let's go. Rashad Breeland, interception. Brady's 7th of the year. And look at the formation that the Chiefs were out here. That's Travis Kelce out of the shotgun. His first carry for a touchdown since his Cincinnati days when he played in college football. Great job by Romo and Nance to get that statistic out there. Third quarter, Mahomes. He's warming up. Is his hand okay? He says yes. Thumbs up. Hand is all right. 3rd and 2. Huge play. Goes across the middle. There's Kelce. Oh, tackle. Fumble. Here comes Gilmore. It's a touchdown.
We got it.
Scoop and score. Go. Wait a second. What?
We're still blowing these things back.
Ball's out.
Still doing it.
Ball's out.
Kelce moved down by contact. A livid Patriots sideline.
Okay, maybe we should. It's day 1 stuff. Just don't blow it dead.
4th quarter, Kyle screaming.
Come on.
Patriots still alive in this one, and what an incredible play by N'Keal Harry. Surely officials called him out of bounds, and because the Patriots already used their challenge, they didn't challenge. Woo-hoo. So that's not a touchdown. They have to settle instead. 4th and 6, there's Brady. The wheel slides. All right, here goes classic Tom Brady.
I was at this game. The crowd, the craziest the crowd was all day was when he took off.
It felt like it was about to happen. 4th and 3. Rashad Breeland crawls over Edelman's back. No contact. Incredible play. The Chiefs slay a dragon. They go into Foxborough, where they lost last year in the regular season. They lost in the playoffs.
They lost their equipment for a while.
They lost their equipment. It was in New Jersey. The Chiefs win 23-16. After the game, Tom Brady was asked if he feels like this team can still figure it out on offense after just 16 points scored.
I don't want to make any predictions. I don't think that's. I think we come in with a plan to get better every week and try to win each game, and each game takes on a little different feel, and the situations are a little different, and it's a different team every year too. So I may have certain experience doing things, but this particular team, as a whole, hasn't been, through different situations. So just try to work through them over the course of the whole season, and we have 3 big games to go, and we gotta get back to winning football.
He's wearing a cream sweater, which matches the bandage that's over his arm pretty heavily there.
Savvy.
At the podium, his right elbow wrapped up. Ian Rappaport joining us now. Good morning, football to you, and happy Monday. Can you please update us on the health of TB12?
Well, Tom Brady's elbow is going to be a thing, and really it has been for the last couple weeks since he popped up on the injury report. And from what I understand, his practice time has been pretty limited as he nurses that elbow injury and just kind of tries to keep himself fresh. He's not that young anymore. I know he looks young, but he's not young. They've had really pulled back on how much he actually practices, and that maintenance that he's getting on his elbow is something that's going to continue. Remains to be seen if they can keep it in good enough shape to be the Tom Brady that we are so used to seeing. Meanwhile, another injury, somewhat concerning. Patrick Mahomes has a right hand injury. He actually got x-rays after the game. Sounded like those were negative, but he's going to have more tests today just to make sure there's no significant damage on that hand. You're seeing him hold it right there. He kind of fell on it awkwardly. This is something where there is optimism that he's going to be able to play next week. That is what the Chiefs think right now. But no one is absolutely sure until they get the results of these tests today.
Offense is struggling on the Patriots side. Also some questions about the Chiefs offense. Their defense certainly came to play. We'll be breaking this one down all day long. Ian, thanks for giving us the update and for joining us this morning as we flip it over to the AFC playoff picture to tell you what went down and the aftermath of the Patriots game back of the Ravens for the 1 seed. Ravens have the head-to-head tiebreaker, of course, and the Chiefs clinch the AFC West. I think for the third straight year, they move up to the 3 seed with that win, and the Texans lost to the Broncos. I said the offense is struggling, guys. There is not a person on earth that can tell me otherwise. This offense, I don't know what's wrong, but I know that when your offense is based on PI the whole time and the whole first drive, and the fact that Brady's run was your best run of the day, not good. What's going on?
Not good at all. The struggles with the offense is about pressure. Let's start with the root word, press. It used to be that the press could write something about the Patriots, it would motivate them, fuel them, and all of a sudden they'll get going, and all of a sudden the offense looks great. It's not the case. This is purely X's and O's. And the root word press is what DBs are doing to the wide receivers. They are smothering these guys to the line of scrimmage. Tom Brady drops back. These windows are smaller than ever. And then pressure finally. They're rushing forward and still getting the Tom like we're seeing right here, which means you're dropping back multiple individuals into coverage, into those passing windows, and all of a sudden, this offense is pressing. I've never seen Tom Brady try to do more and not be able to do more. And last thing, I feel like these wide receivers, they don't know the playbook like Tom knows a playbook, because he's talking in the media and he's saying, well, they haven't been through what I've been through. Situations. Because he's spent a lifetime being at the highest level. You're seeing these guys play slower because they don't know the playbook as well as Tom Brady. On the flip side, you look at the Chiefs, they're playing fast because everybody on that offense, they knew it like the back of their hand.
You said X's and O's. I don't know if you can draw back. I think it's Jimmy and Joe's. Like, I don't know who these guys are, and I don't know what they're throwing to. And I feel for Brady. I know everyone's going to say, well, Brady didn't play great either. Look, Jacoby Myers has a play where they throw to him in a crucial down.
It's a terrible job.
Drops the ball, like, terrible. They go to N'Keal Harry a couple of times. Here's the Myers one. Like, you need that. It's third down. Like, we convert that. We're moving the chains.
So you're not putting it all on Brady.
I'm not at all putting it all on Brady. I'm putting it on the roster management and how they built this team. You lose Gronkowski, the greatest tight end of his generation, and you don't replace him with any sort of offensive firepower. They go after Cole Beasley, can't sign him. They go after Adam Humphries, can't sign him. They go after Antonio Brown, they do sign him. Then they release him, and there's a giant void. And again, Brady doesn't play great in these games, but the talent around Brady, when you're throwing to Matt LaCosse and Jacoby Myers and guys that might not make other rosters in August, in December,
Huge place.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. And the officiating didn't help him either.
No, it's tough. I'll try to relate to this. Like, watching the Patriots offense, it feels like you're playing Tecmo Bowl, and it's like they basically have two plays. And one of the plays is hope for pass interference, you can call that play, and the other one is just trick play. Like, the trick plays are now their best plays. They used to be their finishing move. Now it's like 1st and 10, let's do a double pass or something. I thought Dan Wetzel, the Yahoo columnist, put it absolutely perfectly. Watching them play offense is like someone who's trying to fix their golf swing in the middle of a round. And hold the holes. Should I choke down, not break the wrist? Should I stretch? And meanwhile, bogey. You can't do it. It's the sand through your fingers. You cannot do it. I watch huge downs throwing to guys, Peter, I don't know if they make the team. The whole game is on the line. Throw a jump ball to Edelman? We've watched it for 20 years. I've never seen that play. It's so broken. There's two plays that work, pass interference, trick play, and it's bad, guys. Real bad.
And the crowd knew it. There was booing. I think on the broadcast, you guys heard it once. I heard it 4 different times in that stadium. More on this game and the AFC, of course. The Patriots now 1 game back of the 1 seed. The Ravens just doing work week in, week out. They got their 9th straight win, and we've got the highlights coming up. They have to go on the road to Buffalo, and that Bills defense I just love that we had that total high-scoring game down in New Orleans, and this was a defensive battle on both sides.
2019 NFL, you never know what you're going to get.
And it was a battle of the ages at the top of the NFC. 94 points combined?
I think
More than that, maybe? I'm not going to
94?